Good afternoon, Musketeers. It's April 21st, 2017. I'm Rachel Whalen.
I'm Corey Reish. It's our last show of the year. This is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
Last night, people came together from the Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky area to march in the Take Back the Night movement. Take Back the Night, or TBTN, seeks to end sexual violence in all its forms. The march was successful as it empowered survivors in the healing process, honoring those who have not survived, and inspiring responsibility in all those who attended.
Record ocean temperatures have produced mass bleaching along Australia's Great Barrier Reef for the second year in a row. Scientists say climate change and rising ocean temperatures are behind the bleaching of the reef, which is spreading further south, hitting the middle third of the reef particularly hard. Only the southern third of the reef is unharmed. Bleached coral reefs can recover, but rising ocean temperatures are making this increasingly difficult.
Don't Tell Anna will be performing their final show this year tonight from 9 p.m. to midnight. Bring your friends for a night filled with laughter and join in saying goodbye to our beloved, hilarious seniors. Admission is free and all are welcomed.
Protesters are planning to gather on the National Mall on Saturday for the March for Science, a protest advocating for support of science, research, scientific organizations, and transparency in scientific findings. Coinciding with Earth Day, the rally supports evidence-based policymaking, science education, research funding, and inclusive and accessible science. Over 425 satellite marches are also planned across the country in addition to the DC event, so be on the lookout.
Murals throughout the Cincinnati metro area have become a trademark for the Queen City. Hannah Michaels has more with the organization Artworks.
Scattered across the Cincinnati area are public murals on retaining walls and buildings. In the neighborhood of Over the Rhine is the organization that makes this happen, Artworks. Lene Garten is a manager within the public art department and coordinates and supervises large-scale public art projects.
A core to our mission, which is transforming people and places through investments in creativity, is employing professional artists and youth in the community. 51% of our youth apprentices who we employ are from low-income households. So that is something that is really core to our mission, is employing as many youth as possible. We hire them to paint murals, to do community engagement and other various types of public art projects in the community.
Since its inception in 1996, Artworks has hired 2,000 professional artists and 3,000 youth apprentices. Artworks is the biggest employer of creatives in the region. Artworks has created over 100 murals in the greater Cincinnati area. One of these murals is right down the street from Xavier's campus in the neighborhood of Evanston.
We have a community-based series. This mural series is really all about focusing on and visually representing what communities in this region, what is important to them. Like the Evanston mural, we met with the Evanston Community Council and Xavier to create a community-based mural that represents the people living in that area. This is an important series to Artworks because Cincinnati has so many different types of communities and neighborhoods, and we really feel like visually representing those types of communities the way that they want to be seen by others is a great honor for Artworks to be able to do. Through our youth employment component, we get to hire kids from those neighborhoods to paint in their neighborhood, giving them a sense of accomplishment and honor to be able to beautify their spaces.
Jimmy Jones used to work as an engineer for General Electric before he turned to art and worked as the lead artist on the Evanston mural.
Well, that's a pretty rough process. You can't just come in there and just do something. You've got to step up your game to make a good mural. And I think we did that. I was able to submit a series of designs that got reworked, and after doing those series of designs and after reworking them, came up with, I think, 2 final designs. Between myself and Artworks, we picked the one that was the strongest, and that's the one we went with.
You can hop on the Cincinnati Bell Connector to take a look at several of the murals around the city. For maps of the murals and more information, visit artworkscincinnati.org. Reporting for Xavier News, I'm Hannah Michaels.
Thanks for the story, Hannah. Just a heads up, Artworks is always looking out for enthusiastic volunteers.
The Acabella's annual end-of-the-year concert will take place in the Arupe Overlook in the Gallagher Student Center at 12 p.m. Come celebrate our seniors at this free event through musical arrangements covering Adele, John Legend, Destiny's Child, and Bishop Briggs.
Love me some Adele. This past Wednesday, Regina Dugan, head of Facebook's Experimental Technologies Division Building 8, said Facebook was working on optical neuroimaging systems that would allow people to type words directly from their brain at 100 words per minute. That's 5 times the speed on a smartphone. It sounds impossible, but it's closer than you think, said Dugan. I, for one, am completely frightened by this, but it will be interesting to see what technology Facebook implements in the future.
As spring rolls out, there are an increasing number of activities on the Xavier Yard. Will Jossert has more with the recent event put on by the Coleman Hall Council.
This Saturday afternoon, a Playzone truck arrived on campus and the Coleman Hall Council began to set up bounce houses and carnival games on Xavier's quad. As the late afternoon light was fading, volunteers began signing in students to the Xavier Carnival. Students were given access to free food and an assortment of carnival festivities, including a bounce castle, blow-up slide, and classic strongman games. I had a chance to talk to Jasmine Miller, a volunteer running a rubber duck matching game.
I'm actually a volunteer, but if you work on Hall Council, they're the ones that put it on, especially Coleman Hall. Today is just a carnival, just to show appreciation for the students, put on by the Coleman Hall Council. We have several games going and inflatables, lots of food. We even have a face painter here today who's one of the Xavier students, and she's pretty much a professional. I mean, look at that.
I also got a chance to talk to Donald Shields, the man in charge of setting up the carnival.
This is our carnival today on April 8th. It's been a great time trying to work with my staff on Coleman Hall Council, the staff of Hussman, Fenwick Village, and all the other hall councils on campus. We were truly happy to put this on for all the residents of Xavier University, as well in coordination with a whole bunch of other different clubs and activities here at Xavier. I encourage everyone at Xavier University to come out, or if this is going out after I am talking, to dream big, because we're a hall council and we wanted a carnival and we put in the work and we were able to do it.
This is Will Jossert reporting for Xavier News.
Thanks for the story, Will. It's great to see a glimpse of some of the great work being done here at Xavier.
Opening night for the Xavier Theater Department show titled Into the Woods took place yesterday in the Kennedy Auditorium. Don't miss out on Xavier's spring musical and get your tickets for a show this weekend. Tickets are available at the box office and online for only $12.
In an effort to combat campus sexual assault, Indiana University Bloomington has enacted a new policy that would prevent incoming student athletes who have already committed such offenses from playing for the school. Going forward, the athletics department will be conducting an appropriate inquiry into every prospective student athlete's background and barring them from athletically related financial aid, practice, or competition if they have a past with sexual or domestic violence. Goodbye, IU. I hope others follow suit.
All right, that's all from the news desk, people.
We'll be right back with Paul Fritschner and the Xavier Sports Report.
I really can't believe it. It feels like just yesterday. I was standing here getting you all ready for the year ahead in Xavier sports. And just like that, seemingly in the blink of an eye, I'm standing up here for the last time this year. In shocking news, women's soccer head coach Casey White resigned to take a position with U.S. Soccer. White had only been the coach here for about 4 months since the departure of previous coach Woody Sherwood. Xavier has now opened up a nationwide search for their next head coach. Reflecting now on the year, we think back to the fall when the soccer teams unfortunately had to play away from home for an extended period of time because of that fateful Norwood flood that washed out the turf at the soccer complex. In the fall, the volleyball team also advanced to the Big East Tournament Championship, where they lost but proved once again that they're a force in the conference. In the winter, we know what happened with men's basketball. They struggled mightily in conference play, but like I mentioned on one of those broadcasts during the struggles, a tournament run would help the fan base forget about all those bad times. And sure enough, Xavier went on to the Elite Eight and was 1 game away from their first Final Four appearance in school history. Alas, it wasn't to be this year, but with the 7th-ranked recruiting class, according to Scout.com, due to come on campus next year, and with the possible return of Trayvon Blewett, the team looks poised to be in good shape for the future. Let this year be a reminder to all that when things get bad or the season might look doomed, you never know what might happen when you roll the ball out there in March. We still do have spring sports to watch out for as they begin to wind down their seasons. Women's golf is already at the Big East tournament right now, and tennis will be there soon. Baseball has about a month left in the regular season before they hope to make another run in the conference tournament and into the NCAA tournament. Remember last year? They advanced to the first regional final in school history, and they're looking to repeat that performance again this year. Last but not least, you know what time it is. One last time this year, you get a Fritzner Friday fun fact. Hopefully, I've taught you a few fun tidbits this year to take on the road wherever your summer travels may take you. And here's one last piece of little-known information. So I was digging around Fact Retriever for some fun baseball trivia and came across this. In 1931, Chattanooga shortstop Johnny Jones was traded to the Charlotte Hornets for a 25-pound turkey. That might not be the weirdest baseball trade of all time, though, because Jack Fenton was traded to San Francisco of the Pacific Coast League for a bag of prunes. Just imagine getting the call that you were traded for an animal or a bag of prunes. It boggles my mind. Well, anyway, now you know. So everyone, thank you. All of us here at Xavier News extend a sincere thank you to all of you that have watched our broadcast and paid attention to what we've done. We really enjoy bringing this weekly broadcast to you, and we hope you've enjoyed watching along the way this year. To the graduating seniors, best of luck in whatever is in store for you in the future. To everyone else, here's to hoping you're watching us again in the fall. For the entire broadcast crew, good luck on finals. Have a fun, safe summer. And as always, let's go X.